Hi, if you'd like, come join me for about, I don't know, 15 minutes on the mat, something like that. It's going to be a relatively easy practice, or should I say gentle. And Yogi Bob is here to join me. And Bob joins me a lot on the mat. And Bob is a very special little cat. Bob showed up about a month after my dad passed away. He gave me something to focus on to win him over so that he would become our pet or our friend. And he likes to come on the mat with me a lot. He joins me down here. Sometimes while I'm practicing, he'll toddle over. Makes it kind of hard to move from pose to pose, but I don't have the heart to take him off the mat. So I'm going to scoot him off to the side now. We'll see if he stays. Often this makes him leave. But I wanted to welcome him to practice along with all of you and to introduce you to my special little buddy. All right, let's see if I can move him off to the side a little bit. We're going to start seated, so go ahead and get yourselves comfortable. Come on, Bobby, stay with us, okay? I'm going to move you a little bit. Wow. Oh, maybe not. Stay here. All right, I'm coming to join you, so let's sit on the mat comfortably. Sukhasana, easy seat. But cross-legged isn't easy for everybody, so you find your easy seat. And for some of you, that'll be starting in a chair. For others of you, it'll be your legs extended out in front of you for staff pose. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, welcome. My name is Holly, and I'm doing my best to bring my yoga teaching to YouTube, which is a little daunting for me, but here we go. We'll close our eyes, relax our shoulders down away from our ears, and just let the experience begin. Getting more quiet and more present with each passing moment. And becoming aware of your inhale and the first moment that cool air touches your nose. Feel it stream through and down your throat. Feel yourself drop its energy all the way down to the pelvic floor in the first chakra. Here we root into the moment and give ourselves the reassuring energy of grounding with the earth, connecting to the first chakra and our I am presence. Bringing all the other yogic aspects into the moment, including how we move through the world, how we treat ourselves. And becoming aware of that moment when the exhale leaves your nose, the last moment of that warm air leaving. And feeling the energy of our awareness shift subtly to the second chakra, moving from the red of our tailbone into the orange of our sacrum and pelvis. Rooted in our I am, we move into I feel and experience the moment through emotion, perhaps thought. Feeling the moment that inhale touches your nose, the cool air on the way in, the warm air on the way out. Letting your eyes flutter open and inhale your arms up to the sides of your ears, and let's wiggle a little bit up out of the waist. Maybe leaning a little bit side to side, starting to stimulate and stretch the side bodies. And then we'll do a twist to the right. So turn your heart to the right, find that point of resistance. Let your hands float down to the floor, maybe onto your crossed ankles, maybe left hand to right knee, making it comfortable for yourself. Lifting through the base of your skull and the crown of your head, and grounding through the tailbone and the sitting bones. Feel the squeeze of the mid-spine, invigorating the third chakra now, bringing the yellow to mind's eye. As you inhale or exhale, come forward. Just stay aware of your breathing. Once you're centered, hold there for a pause. Inhale the arms back up. Find the sway, the wiggle out of your waist. Turn to the left. Arms release. Hands find a place to ground. Core is what's squeezing you into the twist. Heart and the base of your skull stay lifted. Crown's right over tail, drawing up away from Muladhara, sinking down through the hips and the pelvis. Becoming aware of the squeeze of that third chakra, offering some motivation, willpower, and your soul force up into the heart center chakra. Feel yourself break open the green in a way that happens when you pay attention. And feel compassion and love, patience and acceptance flood your energy field. Spin forward nice and slowly. I always like to hold the center space for an extra pause. Let the spine reacclimate to being in its more natural position. And then stretch your legs out in front of you, Dandasana. Some of you are already here. Let's wiggle on our bum a little bit. Find the points of the sitting bones. Keep a little bend in the knees. Inhale the arms up. We lengthen again. And as we exhale and fold over our legs, we feel the stimulation of the back body. Some of us might slide the heels forward to straighten the legs more. I advocate for you keeping your feet kind of soft as we hold this position. If it feels good to you, you might pull the pinky edges of your feet back a little bit, press forward through the inner heels. We're not trying to pull this back line all that taut though, just to the point of stimulation, stretch up through the base of the skull, maintaining that long spine. And if we want to round the back at all, it's just the shoulders and the chin towards the chest. And when we tuck the chin, it becomes more important to keep the feet soft. Feel as your shoulders drop forward, there's like this sensation of the back of the heart opening up. Let the energy rise from the back of the heart center into the back of the throat chakra. And then let that energy fall forward into the front of your throat and open up the blue of your voice and your hearing, your ability to express yourself through your art, through your work, through your hobbies. And feel that expressive energy moving into fingertips and toes so that each pose we create in our practice today becomes an expression of our truth, the truth that sits in this Vishuddha chakra. Hands on the earth so you can bring yourself all the way back up nice and slowly. Now that we stimulated the back body and squeezed into twist, let's get the front body a little bit more open. So scoot your tush forward, roll onto your back, bring your bent knees into your chest and rock a little bit from side to side. Maybe knees in a circle. In fact, you know what occurs to me now that we're down here? Let's do some individual hip circles. So maybe hand on your left knee as you circle that left knee around. And let's go slow enough that we can find the fullest range of motion without forcing. Then after 3 or 4 times one way, we'll take it the other way. Bring awareness to your hips. You've woken up the first 5 chakras in a more intentional way. They were already working on your behalf. Switch to the right knee now. Circle it. Let the first few passes be especially slow. Feel the range of motion. And eventually, turn that circle the other way. Beautiful. Now, knees together, or not together, but at the same time. And then keep your knees bent. Set your feet on the floor. Heels land somewhere in front of your sitting bones, kind of making an attempt to stack the ankles underneath the knees. Pelvic tilts when you're ready. Inhale your belly button up. And exhale your belly button in, pressing the sacrum more deliberately into the earth. I don't know of a yoga teacher who does not need to adjust their waistband several times during class. So don't mind me when I do that. It is unavoidable. Are you ready to open your hips a little bit more? Take your right ankle in front of your left knee. Of course, let your sacrum land again. No more rocking the hips. With the outer right ankle in the front of the left knee, let's flex the right foot. Get the muscles around your knee engaged as you send it forward a little bit. Feel the opening of your hip socket. Some of us will keep the left foot on the floor, and that's fine. Otherwise, draw your legs in and maybe even straighten out the left leg. Right foot still flexed, right knee forward. And if that makes your knee feel creepy, you're going to keep the foot and the knee soft and squeeze thigh to ribs, which you might even do regardless because that gets a nice stretch on the outside of your hip and thigh. Come out of that by bending the left knee and putting the foot on the floor, right foot to the floor and switching sides. Outer left ankle in front of your right knee. Flex the foot to begin with. Since we did it on one side, we'll do it for the other. Feel the opening. And if it feels available, we'll squeeze the legs in, maybe straighten out the right leg. Everything is a suggestion, at least in my classes. And if it doesn't seem like a good suggestion for you, you find something that works better. Full inhale. Long exhale. Maybe squeeze thigh to ribs if you did it for one side. I always encourage you to do the same thing on both sides, although not always available, sometimes because of injury or other issues in our physicality. All right, let's take the right foot and left foot back down to the floor and windshield wiper your feet, your knees, and then start walking your feet out as wide as the mat so that as you drop the knees right and left, you feel a stretch in the quadriceps in the front of your thighs from hip flexors down to your knees. Remember, you're here to enjoy yourself. When you're ready, slide your feet back in front of your sitting bones and we'll do a bridge pose, but we'll give it a little bit more support. We'll start out here and we'll evolve it for those of you that want to go into the more traditional shape. But first, squeeze your arms into your sides, bend your elbows, fingertips point to the ceiling, and then when you're ready, inhale your hips up off the floor. Give the feet a little press, a little lift in the toes so the arches are active, and when your hips reach the height that feels best to you without forcing, subtly tuck your sitting bones to the backs of the knees. Feel the front line open now. Chin's pointed a little bit towards the ceiling so you're not squashing the front of your throat. Feeling the breath in and out. And your tush is firm, but you're not overly squeezing it. And then one vertebrae at a time back down to the floor. So for that version of bridge pose, you had your feet and the backs of your arms as anchor points to help and give you the leverage and the lift. We'll try evolving that now. Inhale back up. If it feels good to have your shoulders flat and your back of your arms helping you, stay here. If you want to try, straighten out the arms. Now, if you want to add, scoot your shoulders underneath yourself a little bit. Feel the lift in your chest. Might encourage you to lift your hips a little higher, never to the point of straining though. Sitting bones continue to point to the backs of the knees, and maybe we even very modestly draw the inner knees towards each other to give the lower back some width as well. Full breath in, long breath out. And now same thing, unscoot your shoulders back down to the earth, one vertebrae at a time. This time though, when we land all the way, we'll bring the right knee in, tuck the forehead towards your right knee, right foot down, left knee in, tuck, left foot down, head back down on the floor, straighten out your legs, walk your feet out so that your feet are a little bit wider than your hips, nestle your shoulder blades down into the floor. The point of Shavasana is to find stillness that allows you to get more receptive to the moment and to receive the healing of the practice, to get out of the busyness of doing, transforming our bodies from one shape to the next, and giving over and surrendering to pure beingness. So maybe hands on your belly or your ribs, maybe arms out in gentle airplane wings, or maybe arms up to the sides of your ears with a bend in your elbows so that your arms look like parentheses around your head. I can feel the anchoring energy of Bob sleeping over here on my right side, helping me to nourish and flush my more solar characteristics and my defender nature. And with my left side open, I nourish and flush in a different way through space. Feeling the balance of solar and lunar, defender and nurturer. We take the energy we've cultivated during this brief practice and offer it to the third eye. Feeling the indigo bloom open and offer its intuitive energy up to Sahasrara, the crown. Using the mind's eye to see the 1,000 petals loosen, reveal the white violet light of your highest understanding to yourself. Maybe some of those petals even open. Feeling the line of our chakras from Muladhara in our tail to Svadhisthana in our belly, Manipura in our ribs, Anahata in our chest, Vishuddha in our throat, Ajna in our forehead, and the white violet light now open, receiving and emitting in a private conversation with the stars and planets, and maybe even galaxies beyond our own. And in this receptive and surrendered state, feel yourself find gratitude for 3 things: big or small, profound or subtle. Acknowledge them, breathe in. Exhale anything that prevents you from finding that kind of gratitude. Rebend your knees. Slowly roll over onto your side. Use your bottom arm like a pillow. Top arms out in front of you, hand on the earth to ground. Spread your fingers a little bit, plug down through the finger pads. Full breath in. Exhale out. In your own time, use this front hand to push up into a seated position. You always have my permission to let your Shavasana extend for as long as you want and come out of the practice when you're ready. Those of you who are coming back up with me, let's sit up tall through the base of the skull, the crown of the head. Lift the pelvic floor a little bit, squeeze the belly in a little bit. Feel tall in our seat. Relax your arms, hands are somewhere in your lap. Feel the shift of a gentle 15-minute practice. If you want to, you can join me, hands to Anjali Mudra at Heart Center, considering the gift of practice, the gift of showing up for yourself, the gift of putting a pause in the day. I honor the gift of my buddy Bob, and I honor the gift of you for showing up, for being present for this video that I'm putting out into the world. When you show up, you become my teachers. So thank you, my teachers. Namaste. I'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye for now.